Welcome to Assembly Bethesda On Air, my friends. I'm Hayne Fogarty, and it's always a pleasure to spend this time with you. Today, we're not just opening pages. We're stepping into a scene that feels like it's ripped straight from a Gothic novel. We're diving into Acts chapter 20, verses 7 through 12. And here's the thing. We're headed to a shadowed upper room where a young man named Eutychus falls from a window, yet miraculously rises again. It's a story steeped in the power of resurrection hope, a beautiful, almost haunting tale. We're going to walk through every detail of this moment with open hearts. Why? Because the Gothic beauty of this ancient account speaks so profoundly to those places within us where darkness feels close and light feels terribly distant. I invite you to stay with me as we explore how this single, remarkable night in Troas reveals the kind of faith that holds steady when our bodies fail, when the nights stretch long, and when we feel like we're on the edge of a precipice. It's truly a profound narrative. The scene opens on what's referred to as the first day of the week. The believers, a community of faith, have gathered. And what are they doing? They've come together to break bread. Now, this isn't just a meal. It's a simple act that carries the weight of communion, of deep fellowship, and of community, all at once. Imagine that, a gathering soaked in spiritual significance. Paul, our apostle, is with them, and he's planning to leave the very next day. So what does he do? He keeps on talking. He talks and talks until midnight. Already you can feel the atmosphere, can't you? It's thick with intention. The hour is late, the room is upstairs, and many lamps are burning. They're pushing back against the night that presses in, pushing against those windows, eager to intrude. This is no casual gathering, my friends. This is a profound, almost sacred meeting, soaked in the Gothic tension of light and shadow, of fellowship, and of the great unknown waiting just outside the threshold. It's a powerful image, this interplay of warmth and encroaching darkness. Now picture this. A young man named Eutychus sits in a window. He's listening, I'm sure, at first, but Paul talks and sleep, that universal human need, overtakes him. And the text doesn't judge him for drifting off. It simply records the reality that bodies grow weary, even in the very presence of profound truth. There's a beautiful honesty in that. He sinks into a deep sleep, completely lost to the world inside. And then, tragedy strikes. He falls from the third story. He's picked up and he is declared dead. The fall lands with a finality that every Gothic tale recognizes, doesn't it? That moment when gravity wins, when the ground claims its prize, when life seems to just cease. The people rush down, panic rising in their throats, I imagine. But here's the crucial point. The story doesn't end there. Because Paul, instead of retreating in alarm, moves directly toward the broken body. He moves toward the darkness, not away from it. That's a powerful lesson right there. What happens next is truly breathtaking. Paul goes down to where Eutychus lies. He throws himself on the young man, putting his arms around him, a profound act of compassion and faith. And then he says with absolute conviction, "Do not be alarmed, he is alive." Can you hear those words echoing off the stone walls, cutting through the night like the first hopeful crack of dawn? It's an incredible declaration in the face of death. He doesn't just wish it, he declares it as truth. And then, in a sequence that might surprise you, Paul returns upstairs, breaks bread with the community, eats, and continues talking until daylight. Meanwhile, the people take the young man home, alive, completely restored, and they are greatly comforted. Think about that. In those few verses, the entire Gothic arc of fall, descent, embrace, and rise plays out in vivid living color. It's a testament to a faith that defies the finality of death, a moment where the divine intervenes dramatically. Let's just linger on the setting for a moment, because it carries so much of this Gothic weight we've been talking about. The upper room, high above the ground, the many lamps diligently fighting back the encroaching darkness, and that open window, inviting both the fresh air of the night and, tragically, fatal drops. Paul, speaking through the entire night, demonstrates a commitment that refuses to be hurried by clocks or even by crises. It's a powerful picture of unwavering dedication. The breaking of bread becomes this steady heartbeat, anchoring the community, even when death literally walks into the room. And Eutychus, he's on that windowsill, sitting quite literally between two worlds, the warm, secure glow inside and the vast black void outside, until sleep, that gentle thief, pulls him across the line. The fall itself isn't dressed up in drama. It's stated plainly. He fell and was picked up dead. That very plainness, my friends, makes the miracle hit so much harder. It's stark, real, and utterly transformative. No one expected this turn of events. Yet Paul doesn't hesitate. He descends those stairs, he embraces the lifeless form, and he speaks life where death had spoken last. The embrace feels so intimate, so powerful, the kind of physical act that Gothic art has always loved to capture, the moment flesh meets flesh and spirit answers spirit. Do not be alarmed, he says, because alarm, fear, has no place when resurrection itself is present in the room. What a powerful message for our own moments of panic and despair. And after this incredible miracle, Paul doesn't call the meeting closed. He goes back up, shares the meal, keeps teaching until daylight breaks. The night that began with bread and words ends with bread and words, and a young man walking home, alive. The comfort that fills the group isn't theoretical. It's the comfort of seeing death defeated in their very midst, in the body of one of their own. They carry that profound comfort out into the morning light, forever changed by what they have witnessed. It's a powerful, tangible experience of grace. This story, my friends, speaks straight to the Gothic Christian heart, because it refuses to separate the dark from the divine. The night isn't an enemy to be feared. It's the very setting where the lamps shine brightest and resurrection power shows clearest. The window isn't just an exit. It's a threshold that death crosses, only to be sent back empty-handed. And the arms of Paul? They become the arms of Christ, reaching into every courtyard where we have fallen, wrapping around what the world calls finished and declaring it alive. We see this same pattern repeated in the larger story of our faith. Light entering darkness, life invading death, comfort rising where fear tried to rule. The lamps in that upper room remind us that small flames are enough when they're fueled by the presence of the one who is the light of the world. The long night of teaching reminds us that endurance, even in the face of weariness, produces fruit that outlasts the hours. And the young man taken home alive? He reminds us that miracles travel with us. They don't stay locked in an upper room. They walk with us through our days. As this incredible story closes, the comfort spreads like the dawn itself, slow at first, then full and warm. The believers have seen with their own eyes that no fall is final, no sleep is permanent, and no night is truly endless. They have bread in their hands, hope in their hearts, and a living testimony walking right beside them. My friends, that is the Gothic gospel in action. Dark enough to feel real, luminous enough to lead the way home through any shadow. This passage invites you and me to stay at the table, even when the hour grows late and our bodies feel weak. It invites us to trust that when the fall comes, the one who descended into death will descend to us as well, meeting us in our lowest moments. It invites us to carry that comfort outward, to become lamps in our own dark corners, to speak as life-giving words, do not be alarmed, because he is alive. We've walked through these powerful verses, we've felt the weight of the night, and we've seen the triumphant rise that follows the fall. Let this story settle deep in your spirit as you navigate your own shadowed hours. The upper room still stands open, the lamps still burn, the arms of grace still reach, and the comfort still flows for every heart that listens and believes. Thank you for joining me today. It is always a pleasure to spend this time with you. God bless, and until next